Good morning. Well, I think today is the day that we've been waiting for when it comes to our hay harvest. I think I'm going to cut the hay field today. Now, you'll notice it's not a very sunny day today, but I looked at the forecast this morning, watched the weather last night on the news, and everybody's saying that as we go through this week, the upcoming week, today is Saturday morning, by the way, and I will include the forecast right here. And if you look at that, you'll see that today and tomorrow are supposed to be kind of cloudy, and actually a chance of showers tomorrow, which is going to be Sunday. But the rest of the week looks kind of favorable for it as far as getting the hay down and getting it cured, which means dried down really well. And then hopefully by the time we get to, I don't know, I'm hoping Thursday or Friday of this coming week, I should be able to get it dried down to the point where I can bale it, or excuse me, rake it and bale it. And if that's the case, then next weekend I can go out there and stack them all up, and then we can worry about getting all the rest of our harvest equipment going for corn and bean harvest here coming up. Our beans, I think you could probably see behind me someplace, are still pretty yellow. They're not going to go for a couple weeks yet, so we're not in a huge hurry for that yet. But it'll be here before we know it, so that still means we got to get the combine out and get that all ready to go. So first thing we got to do today is get the tractor out. We're going to get it fueled up, and then I'm going to wait another hour or so, let a little bit more of this dew come off, a little bit more of the fog dissipate, and then we're going to go get started. Okay, it's a little bit later on Saturday morning. I haven't quite got out to the field yet to start cutting hay, but I did find out that there was a slight discrepancy in communication between me and Dad. I didn't realize he hadn't checked the gearboxes on the mower yet, so I figured I would go through and do that before I went out to the field. And when I looked, we hadn't changed oil in long enough, so let's just put it that way. So I changed oil in the two gearboxes here. I've got it folded up so I can go down the road with it safely and not have to worry about meeting oncoming traffic. That means it's lunchtime, go up, put a little bit of diesel fuel in the tractor, so that's got plenty of gas for the day, plenty of diesel fuel. You can see behind me that the clouds are starting to dissipate a little bit. So my sunglasses, I didn't think I was going to need them today. I'm glad I've got them. And I think, like I said, we're going to go eat, fill the tractor up with fuel, and I think we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go see what happens. Well, it would seem that I came across a little hopeful with the cloud cover later this afternoon. It did cloud up again a little bit back off to the west here. I'm still going to wear my sunglasses in hopes that, you know, maybe the sun will see that it'll come back out. But we've got the tractor and the mower down here by the fuel barrel. So I'm going to get ready to put some fuel in this thing, and then we're going to go out and see what happens. Worst case scenario, I go out there, I try it for a round or two, it's not quite working the way I would like it to. We come back and we try it again tomorrow. But that's kind of the risk of how this job goes, I guess. So let's see what happens. Fingers crossed, we can keep going all day. So we're all fueled up and we're out in the field. We're getting ready to unfold the mower, and it's come to my attention. I've got my backpack in here. I've got the drone controller back over here. I've got a rifle just in case I find something that I need to take care of. My tripod's down here. The drone case is down there. I really don't think that when they built this tractor back in the 1970s that they were anticipating that somebody in South Dakota in 2025 was going to try to make YouTube videos out of it. I got a lot of stuff in here. hopefully I don't lose anything, and hopefully I don't break anything. That'd be nice. But like I said, we can't get started unless we get the mower unfolded, so let's get that taken care of real quick. Unfolded. It's ready to go. There's a little shower that just came through, which I'm not thrilled about. Better put my sunglasses back on. Again, that's wishful thinking. Let's go ahead and give this a go, see what happens, and I'll let you know how we're doing here in a little while. Grass is a little wet yet, and I don't think it would even go right now if we hadn't found those new blades and put them on when we did a couple days ago. But it does seem to be going through it, so we'll just gotta keep going. Okay, so I just did 4 complete laps all the way around my grass field here. You can see, actually let me do it like this. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 windrows, and each one of those is one of the passes I made all the way around the field. And I've got another 4 right back over here, and that's because my grass field kind of comes to a point right about where the tractor's at right there. So now that I've got all these grass over here cut down, that gives me a place to turn the tractor around when I'm at the end of my row. Now I get to decide where I'm just going to make a pass through the middle of the grass field, and then I'll just start turning around and working my way out from the middle of this until I get all this grass cut, and then I'll do another land down there and another one, so on and so forth. This field is kind of segmented. I will pop up a video or just a picture of it from Google Earth, and we'll kind of discuss where each one of those unique points are at on that particular map. So when I was talking about that, I was about in this part of the grass field here, and when I said there was going to be a couple different segments I was going to cut this field into, the first one was going to be this kind of horseshoe shaped piece up here, and I cut it off about here. And everything basically north of this point. So all this stuff I cut north and south, but this was a good cutoff point for one little segment. I cut off another little piece about here, and that would have gone straight east and west. And then the rest of this field to the south, I cut to the east and west down here. But the last little segment I was talking about was going to be from about where my cursor's at right now, straight to the north here. And I also cut this mostly to the east and west. That's all I was talking about there. But I am, well, this is Bob's farm right over there. Our farm is right back over there, over the top of all that corn. And the fence post and the tree that I took down are way, way, way down on that far end of the grass field, just to kind of give you guys an idea of where I'm at out here. So, but I think we're going to go ahead and, like I said, pick a spot to go through. I think it's going to be somewhere in between those 2 cornfields, kind of where it's closest. And then I'll work my way to the west of that land, and then also to the east of that land. Just kind of keep making one big loop. And then we'll, like I said, pick another path and kind of keep going as we go. Let's see how this works. Okay, it is currently about 7:30 or so at night, and you can see I've got some grass back over here that hasn't been mowed, and I'll need to worry about that tomorrow. It's a little too late. I know I'm not going to get this field done tonight anyway, so I'm just going to get to this corner right here where my grass field kind of goes both that way as well as straight back behind me over here. It kind of pinches down to a point right here in between these two cornfields. That's a good breaking point. Everything this way I cut north and south, and everything this way back over behind me now, what's left, I'm going to turn direction. I'm going to cut that actually east and west. So with the sun about ready to go down and a wedding for me to go to in town, I think I'm going to fold the mower up, take that back to the yard, and go take a shower. We'll see you guys when we get back to the yard. Okay, so we made it back to the farm. I got the tractor back in the machine shed. Now it's time to close the doors and go up and find something to eat, because again, it's just about supper time, I would think. So I'm gonna do just that after I get these doors all closed up, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll see if we can't finish it up. Have a good night. Good afternoon. Getting started a little bit later this morning, but we did have a little bit of dew down here this morning. Not too terrible bad, but just enough where the last part of the field I've got to cut today is a little bit thicker grass. And that generally cuts a little bit tougher than the northern part of the field that I was in yesterday. Today is Sunday. You'll remember yesterday I got well over half of that grass field cut. I don't have that much left to do today, but the sun was going down. I got to a good stopping point. I figured I might as well stop while I was still ahead yesterday. So today we're gonna go out and finish that field up. Again, it's not gonna take very long. It's a much better day for hay today. I do need my sunglasses on. We've got a little bit of cloud cover, but the sun's peeking through a lot of it pretty easily. Wind's blowing pretty decent. So again, and another thing too is it's a lot warmer today already than it got yesterday all day long. So we'll see if the AC and that tractor cab can keep up for me today. We don't need to fill it up. We did a good job with that yesterday. We didn't burn that much fuel. Knives are still sharp. So all we need to do is get this thing started up, get out to the grass field, unfold it, and we're ready to rock. Let's get to it. Well, we're out in the field. I've got the mower unfolded. It's lifted right now, just like it would be if I was turning around on the end rows. But it is currently, let's see, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go ahead, get started, and we'll see what time we can finish up by tonight. Hey look, guess what we found? It's our orange fence post. Again, I painted that color, that way I could see it. You can see I mowed around it over here, back and around back this way, and then all the way back to where the tractor's at, and then down here to the fence line between my field and the neighbor's field to the south. But Coming out here and putting that new fence post in and then painting it orange, it worked. That's a good thing. We've all been waiting for, or at least I have been. Done. We have this entire grass field now mowed, thankfully. And I think what I'm going to do now is go grab the camera I've got set up down by that orange fence post, get the lawnmower or the hay mower folded up, and then we'll head back to the farm and I'll catch up with you guys there. Talk to you in a bit. Okay, we're gonna fold this thing up real quick. To do that, for starters, I need to flip our shield back and over. And while I did that, there's a couple things in here I want you guys to take notice of real quick. First of all, you'll notice that the grass that we cut is over here as well as over here, and there's not so much right here in the middle. And that's kind of an important thing, because as we created these two swaths, we want that grass to be as wide, laid out as wide as possible, but I don't want it to touch the swath next to it, because I'm going to come back through with the rake and I just want to take one swath at a time, and I'm just going to fold them into the middle. So I want to make sure that there's a little bit of an area right in between here, that there's no grass. That way I can have something to follow, a path to follow, as it were. And the way to do that is with these two towers here. I've got one on this side and one on that side. And as it's mowing, you'll notice that both of them spin towards the middle, and that takes whatever hay is out here on the end and throws it towards the center. And that's why we have these little areas, or these little strips throughout the field, that don't have any grass on it. But now that we've kind of got that explained and I've got this back, we're going to take off, go back to the farm. I'll catch you guys there. Well, they always say to make hay while the sun is shining. And I was thinking about it as I was pulling the mower back into the farmyard here. There, I think I can close the door now. That's the only thing that would make this day any better is if we were to catch a rain. And I get to the farmyard here and I'm unloading the tractor with all my stuff. And I think, is that thunder? And guess what? It certainly is. There's a little bit of a rain cell that's going to be passing over here in about 15 minutes or so. But I guess if you're going to have it rain on your hay, it's better to do it right away after you cut it rather than a couple days after curing. It seems to last a little bit better that way, so it is what it is. The rest of the forecast looks pretty good. So next time you guys see me, we will be hooking up the rake to this tractor. Little bug's biting me. And then we're gonna go out and get some hay raked, And then I've got a buddy lined up that's going to come and bale it for me on either Saturday or Sunday of next week. So we will talk to you guys then.